praises, all praises to the heavenly, holy, almighty creator of infinity, eternity, the universe, the stars, the earth, the mountains, the oceans, the valleys, the seas, the clouds, all creeping things, humanity, and all there is. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. Happy, holy Sabbath family. We are back together again, convening and converging, congregating and convocating. We are at the threshold of transition where we are ready to receive the holy cosmic information and the transmission. We have bared forth our cranial universes and exposed our souls to the heat and the fire of the word and the wisdoms of the construction of the universe. All praises into the scattered tribes of the house of Jacob, wherever you may sojourn, as well as my brothers and sisters of the world, those who refer to themselves as the melanated and Moors, the original man and children of God, the copper-colored, the colored, and people of color, the sovereigns and sojourners, the aboriginals and indigenous, the natives, Negroes and niggas, the African Americans and blacks, the descendants of slaves, and those conquered and colonized. My continuous petition and prayer for your care, safety, peace, and harmony. And we are here once again expressing our grace and our gratitude and our appreciation and our reverence to the holy power for his blessing for another 7 days of the gift of breath and life. All praises. And we shall continue with this celebration of wisdom and of education and edification of the holy hidden nation. All praises. And without further ado, because we have much to do, we shall continue and start and begin from without and within at the Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit channel standards in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. Followed by our second heavenly eternal standard in the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 8, in reference to the holy anointed Messiah, the wonderful, the anointed, the Savior, the King of Israel, whom the word refers to as Jesus Christ, the same yesterday and today and forever. And family, we have now come together in our zone of peace and safety. We are here with the brethren and sisters of the holy nation as we become still and quiet, as we strap on our sandals of salvation and begin our walk into wisdom. We pay due homage to the brother prophet Isaiah in his scroll of the 28th chapter, verses 9 through 11. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Ah, yes, and we are blessed when we can assemble together again in our consensual, coordinated compartment of concern and compassion for the brothers and sisters of the holy nation. All praises. And family, we shall begin with our continuous review and evaluation of the lost tales of the people who have lost their names, their language, and their heritage. And last week's episode, we were partaking of the escapades of brother prophet Elisha, and he had come upon the city in Samaria where the brothers were having a hard time, and so they petitioned to him to journey to a city near the Jordan River and set up. However, the king of Syria conspired against the brethren of Israel and sent his hosts of army to compass the brotherhood. And so now we shall continue in our review of the practices of the prophets in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6, verses 20 through 33. And it came to pass when they were come into Samaria that Elisha said, Lord, open the eyes of these men that they may see. And the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. So the prophet has led the army of the Syrians into the heart of the cities of Samaria. And so now we shall see what is to become of this army. And the king of Israel said unto Elisha when he saw them, My father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? And he answered, You shall not smite them. Would you smite those whom you have taken captive with your sword and with your bow? Set bread and water before them, that they may eat and drink, and go to their master. And he prepared great provision for them. And when they had eaten and drunk, he sent them away, and they went to their master. So the bands of Syria came no more into the land of Israel. All praises. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. Wow. So when the king of Samaria returned back, or the king of Syria returned back to Samaria, he besieged it and cut off all provisions until the worst of the foods gathered the greatest of the tribute. And as the king of Israel was pressing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord do not help you, where shall I help you? Out of the barn floor and out of the wine press. And the king said unto her, What ails you? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give your son that we may eat him. And she had hid her son. And it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent his clothes and passed by upon the wall. And the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within him upon his flesh. Then he said, Go do so, and more also to me, if the head of Elisha the son of Shaphat shall stand on him this day. But Elisha sat in his house, and the elders sat with him. And the king sent a man from before him. But ere the messenger came to him, he said to the elders, See you how this son of a murderer has sent to take away mine head? Look, when the messenger comes, shut the door and hold him fast at the door. Is not the sound of his master's feet behind him? So, family, Elisha has seen the vision of the messenger come to bring ill will to the prophet Elisha. And Elisha has given orders to the elders that sit with him. And while yet he talked with them, behold, the messenger came down unto him and said, Behold, this evil is of the Lord. What shall I wait for the Lord any longer? All praises, family. And that was verse 33. And we shall continue with the end result of the messenger's plan against the prophet brother Elisha. Dum, 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 dum. All praises, family. And so as we continue in our revealing and unveiling of the mystery history of the holy nation, We are now getting a spiritual connection back to the brothers and the sisters and our uncles and our aunts and our mothers and fathers and grandfathers of the holy nation and their exploits as they deal within the holy eternal covenant between the Holy Creator and the nation of Israel. And we shall continue as we have embarked on the expressway of eternity, the expressway of enlightenment, where we expand and elevate and escalate and extend. We have donned the armor and shield of salvation. We steady our hips and square our shoulders as we head down this hallway of hell through this avarice and alienation and adultery, through these arrows of affliction, through these daggers and darts to our pride, arrogance, and dignity, as we surpass and joust with these jabs and these javelins and these punches and these pains and these piercings and punctures, all the way from the pineal to the pituitary. We shall express, we shall exclaim, as we partake of the wisdoms of Ecclesiasticus, of the apocryphal text, verse 30, chapter 38, verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which you may have of him, for the Lord has created him. For of the Most High comes healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. The Lord has created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? And he has given men skill, that he might be honored in his marvelous works. With such does he heal men, and takes away their pains. Of such does the apothecary make a confection, and of his works there is no end, and from him is peace all over the earth. My son, in your sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make you whole. Leave off from sin, and order your hands aright, and cleanse your heart from all wickedness. Give a sweet savor and a memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being. Then give place to the physician, for the Lord has created him. Let him not go from you, for you have need of him. There is a time when in their hands there is good success, for they shall also pray unto the Lord, that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. He that sins before his master, let him fall into the hand of the physician. My son, let tears fall down over the dead, and begin to lament as if you have suffered great harm yourself, and then cover his body according to the custom, and neglect not his burial. Weep bitterly, and make great moan, and use lamentation as he is worthy, and that a day or two, lest you be evil spoken of, and then comfort yourself with your heaviness. For of heaviness comes death, and the heaviness of the heart breaks strength. In affliction also sorrow remains, and the life of the poor is the curse of the heart. Take no heaviness to heart, drive it away, and remember the last end. Forget it not, for there is no turning again. You shall not do him good, but hurt yourself. Remember my judgment, for you also shall be so. Yesterday for me, and today for you. When the dead is at rest, let his remembrance rest, and be comforted for him when his spirit is departed from him. The wisdom of a learned man comes by opportunity of leisure, and he that has little business shall become wise. He can get wisdom that holds the plow, and that glories in the goad which drives the ox, and is occupied in their labors, and whose talk is of bulls. He gives his mind to make furrows, and is diligent to give the kind fodder. So every carpenter and workmaster that labors night and day, and they that cut the grave seals, and are diligent to make great variety, and give themselves to counterfeit imagery, and watch to a finished work. The smith also sitting by the anvil, and considering the iron work, the vapor of the fire wastes his flesh, and he fights with the heat of the furnace. The noise of the hammer and the anvil is ever in his ears, and his eyes look still upon the pattern of the thing that he makes. He sets his mind to finish his work, and watches to polish it perfectly. So does the potter sit at his work, and turning the wheel about with his feet, who is always carefully set at his work, and makes all his work by number. He fashions the clay with his arm, and bows down his strength before his feet. He applies himself to lead it over, and he is diligent to make clean the furnace. All these trust to their hands, and every one is wise in his work. Without these cannot a city be inhabited, and they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. They shall not be sought for in public council, nor sit high in the congregation. They shall not sit on the judge's seat, nor understand the sentence of judgment. They cannot declare justice and judgment, and they shall not be found where parables are spoken. Verse 34. But they will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft. All praises, family. So with this fine dine of the wine of wisdom, we have the respect due to the physician, the doctor, the healing representative of the nation. We know that all healing begins with the Holy Creator himself. So we must pray, and when we submit ourselves to the prayer of healing, then we are to let the doctor bring forth his wisdom of the medicine and of the herbs and of the cures of treatment to satisfy the full functions of our carnal container. And we are to honor the stations of life to which we are given our individual wisdoms, our individual talents. No, everyone will not be the king or the leader or in charge, but everyone's talent contributes to the body and the function and the flavor of the nation. So as the potter and the iron worker and the farmer and the judge and the man who gathers the rubbish all perform a duty, that duty is necessary to the fine, fluid functions of the body of the nation. All praises. Oh yes, and as we have absorbed the 34 javelins, spears, right directly into our chest cavity, and it has released the spinal fluids for the healing of our spiritual journey. We shall now reach for the salve and the sage and the flavor of the songs, of the lyrics of learning, and the prayers of petition from the holy prophet, brother King David, the apple of the Lord's eye, as he gives us the history, as he gives us the sentiment, as he gives us the prophecy. In the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 1, a psalm of David. Fret not yourself because of evildoers, neither be you envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like grass and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good, so shall you dwell in the land, and verily you shall be fed. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. He shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not yourself because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who brings wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not yourself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off. But those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. Verse 10, for yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yeah, you shall diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plots against the just, and gnashes upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he sees that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The Lord knows the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume. Into smoke shall they consume away. The wicked borrows and pays not again, but the righteous shows mercy and gives. For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth, and they that be cursed of him shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he that delights in his way, though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. I have been young, and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and lends, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. For the Lord, verse 28, for the Lord loves judgment and forsakes not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speaks wisdom, and his tongue talks of judgment. The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watches the righteous and seeks to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, you shall see it. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yeah, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. But the transgressors shall be destroyed together, and the end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord. He is their strength in the time of trouble. Verse 40, and the Lord shall help him and deliver them, and shall deliver them from the wicked, and shall save them, because they trust in him. All praises, family. And those are the prayers and the petition and the lyrics of the songs of the Psalms as delivered by Holy Brother Prophet King David. And they are to give distinction between the righteous and the upright and the saints of the Holy Creator. And those saints are the children of the 12 tribes of Israel. And the wicked seek to do us harm and to keep us in sin and to transgress the law of our holy power. We shall continue to read and review and spiritually evaluate and spiritually grow and elaborate as we continue to define and refine our walks on the path of righteousness given to us as an example by the holy anointed Messiah, the wonderful, the anointed, the King of Israel, whom the world refers to as Jesus Christ, who is the Word of the Holy Power Creator made flesh. The same word written on stone by the Holy Creator's own finger and given to Brother Prophet Moses to present to the holy nation, the 12 tribes, the true church and congregation of the nation of Israel as a holy covenant to observe and to do, so that we may be deemed worthy for entrance into the 12 gates of the kingdom of heaven on earth. Let it be done, so be it. Family, happy holy Sabbath. It is a day of rest. It is a testimony of truth. It is a marker of our heritage. It is a tenement of the covenant made between the Holy Creator and his people. We are at education and edification of self and the holy nation. We are at grace and reverence for the continuous existence within this continent of confusion as we continue to let our light shine to the brothers and sisters who are coming out but yet may still dwell in darkness. We shall continue with our escalation into the excellence of eternity. But until we are together again, I love you. I love you. I love you. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verses 6 through 9. For we are a holy people unto the Lord our God. The Lord our God has chosen us to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon us, nor choose us because we were more in number than any people, for we were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved us, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn to our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has the Lord brought us out with a mighty hand and redeemed us out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Verse 9. Know therefore that the Lord our God, he is God, the faithful God, which keeps covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. The book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27. And you shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed. And to the scattered tribes, here is your promise of comfort. Book of John, chapter 3, verses 14 through 17, into Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Verse 17, for God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Isaiah 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded. World without end.